that first group stage game, have made the run back to make it into top 16 here. Now up against TradeLikePros Red. Elysium looking really strong though, despite that. One of the only teams, or one of the few teams actually in this week to have made a grand final, and one of even the fewer teams to have won a grand final here at Elysium.
Quick lock-ins coming through here for Elysium. All 5 of their teammates locked in before one locked in for TradeLikePros Red.
No deliberation happening here.
Yeah, we don't get to see any form of deliberation. Shout out to Pauly. Love watching Pauly's stream, so go follow Pauly on Twitch.
CS.
Yeah, Pauly CS, I believe, is his twitch.tv/PaulyCS. He's a very fun streamer to hang out with, so shout out to Pauly. And we are moving in onto Bind. Really excited to get onto Bind. We had Haven come through in the last one. Had Icebox before that. Like we mentioned, don't think we'll see any more Icebox coming through for today. Yep. But it is a possibility now, and that is so exciting.
So I was incorrect. It was actually Elysium who dropped. They did drop their first group stage match, but that was to Orange Borange, also a citrus named team. So that's where the confusion was coming in for me. Orange Borange, Grapefruit Techniques, a lot of citrus fans in the Valorant Sunday Showdown this week. Orange Borange took that big upset over Elysium early on today, but that has not stopped Elysium from making their run here into the top 16, looking to once again reclaim that top spot here in the VSS. In their way is TradeLikePros Red. TradeLikePros, a Valorant org that has been with the VSS since its very first iteration. TradeLikePros often coming with 2 rosters, TradeLikePros Red, TradeLikePros Gold. This time, TradeLikePros making their entry into the top 16. As we said, with a really big win over Grapefruit Technique, a team I think a lot of people would have thought at least a guaranteed spot in top 8.
Yeah, I was about to say, Grapefruit Techniques, when you look at their roster just purely on paper, it definitely looks like a top 8 roster to come through for them.
Yes.
I was looking at some of the other matchups we have going on in the top 16, and I noticed a really unfortunate matchup in the top 32 that's still going on. We have the Slimy Boogerman going up against Mamba Mode Gaming, and that is a top 32 matchup that is really unfortunate.
So I think that's a combination of Mamba Mode Gaming and the Mamba Mode Gaming Purple.
Okay,
roster.
yes.
So
it is a mixed up.
Yeah, some of the Academy players.
But it is still just a big roster of two teams that you don't want to see go against each other in the top 32.
It's the nature of the beast here in the Valorant Sunday Showdown when you have, I mean, so many good teams come in, and we have really hotly contested spots just to get into the tournament. Is a skill in of itself.
I think we had 100 teams this week, and we had 64 spots.
Yeah,
well that's the way
100.
it normally is. I believe signups are live for next week now, so go ahead and head over to Battlefy and get yourself signed up for VCS number 31.
Yeah, exclamation point register there in the chat for you. And yeah, already more than 20 teams signed up for next week's Valorant Sunday Showdown, and that page went up today. So as we said, very hotly contested spots, as we expect a hotly contested pistol round here. Elysium starting out on the attacking side, taking a quick look at their roster. Very standard roster, agent select coming in for Bind. No real surprises there. It is interesting a bit to see the Breach going over towards Elysium, but TradeLikePros bringing in the Jet, bringing in the Killjoy as well. So already optimized for the defense, especially with that Killjoy setup, but the action's going to happen away from the Killjoy for now. Pauly gets traded out 1-for-1 here for Elysium. TradeLikePros get themselves onto equal footing, trying to stop this push. Get Greedy, forced to back away from the showers area. Looking for this trade here with Remedy.
Yeah, and he's almost out of bullets. Thankfully, the Jet decides to back themselves up, get themselves out of there, but oh man, Remedy finds a member, Satchel and Adam, blind coming through. Oh man, Remedy gets caught out, just shot in the face there by Justin. And now we have a 4v3 here for Elysium. Remember, there's always someone in lamps.
Always someone in lamps. This time around, it is Net, who gets a big amount of damage there onto JP2. Let's see if TradeLikePros can work their way into sight here. Elysium work themselves into these corners, and Lucky is going to get rewarded greatly for it with a double kill. Get Greedy closes out the round for Elysium. and they very confidently wrap up round 1.
Yeah, things looking good in round 1 there for Elysium. No big multi-kill to come through, but Lucky did get himself that nice 2K, so can't complain too much.
Two things I like about Lucky. First of all, Lucky, I think, had a tough time getting going in that first group stage match that we watched Elysium, and still came up big for Elysium in that match despite the loss. There was some really crucial rounds that Lucky clutched out for Elysium. Second thing I like about Lucky, not this time, but sometimes will pick up the Bulldog, and I really like the Bulldog. I think it's very underrated as a gun. Lucky making that choice sometimes around, not this time around, unfortunately. So we'll be looking out for that later on as Elysium, rather, have all Spectres in tow. They're playing this one rather carefully around the classics here of TradeLikePros. TradeLikePros waiting for the action to come to them.
Yeah, slow round to come through so far. Just trying to get as much intel together as they can. And here we go. Owl Drone coming out through A short. Paint Shells going out. And all the utility getting used here. Justin just leaping in. Double Satchel coming in. He gets himself a big 2K. Massive kills coming through there for Justin. Remedy about to find himself 5 members. Gets collapsed on from all sides and Remedy falls. Spike about to go down, but JP2 thinks there's someone in showers. There's not. They're both in heaven.
Oh, go ahead and put that in the Justin highlight reel. That entry 2K off the satchel, expertly played there from Justin. Opens the door for Elysium, hands them the sight on a silver platter. This round, just Adder, the lone member of TradeLikePros round, gets taken out. Justin wraps up a cheeky little 3K there with the classic right click. Justin with a massive play there, though, to entry onto A site there for Elysium.
Yeah, that was really fun to see. I think we saw something similar come through it in the first round, but he wasn't able to execute the double satchel. Was able to just get that first one, and really nice execute. I hope we keep seeing things like that come through. I sent Choice a clip on Twitter this week of someone doing something very similar to that on Icebox, and hopefully we get to see some more creative double satchels coming through.
Guys, all about that Icebox this week. I'm surprised we even saw it once. We'll see if we see it again. But here on Bind, all about Elysium.
You can double satchel anywhere, Dilly. You can double satchel anywhere.
That you can. Physics will not stop you. But will stop you is Justin pushing through Hookah now. Here comes the execute from Elysium. Their first push onto B site here in this half, but Nick stands strong, takes down Justin. Pauly, though, gets the trade onto Aiko. Nick can't hold up much longer. Pauly, with the stolen Vandal, gets the kill onto Nick, leaving TradeLikePros red in a 2v4.
Yeah, things not looking so good for TradeLikePros so far, but I think it's just because Elysium has been looking so clean. Pauly got those 2 big kills. And sometimes those around the corner kills are somewhat 50-50, so really lucky that he got both of those.
Sometimes when you're playing against Pauly, it's more like 20-80. That guy,
yeah, that guy's nutty.
Pretty good at clicking heads, but Net will find the revenge there on the get greedy before taking a big shock dart in the face. Pauly heard us talking about him, sends that shot dart down the lane there, hits Net right in the face. Won't be enough to wrap up the kill. The 2 remaining members of TradeLikePros Red will survive, will keep those Vandals in hand, but nonetheless, a tricky economic situation here for TradeLikePros.
Yeah, shout out to Lucky and JP2. Neither of them have died yet. 4 assists coming through for JP2. He's been so clutch with those blinds.
Yeah.
And actually, once again, we have a situation where there's no blinds coming through on the side of TradeLikePros.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how that will play out. All they've got is, potentially a paranoia to throw in there. But yeah, no flashes. See if TradeLikePros can make it work.
Oh my god.
Net certainly makes it work. Almost finds the 2K there, but Get Greedy lives to fight another day.
The fact that Net even got 1 kill there was huge. Probably should have gotten punished there in that 1v2 situation. Swept out the Boombot, got his own swept out, and really lucky to grab that one.
Elysium, we're going to have to be careful about how they approach the B site this time around. They won't be able to rush their way out of Hookah without that raise engage.
Yeah, it looks like it's a mixed bag of guns coming through here for TradeLikePros. Saw a Spectre. I saw.
Yeah,
It looks like it
one
was just
Bulldog.
one Spectre. Yeah.
Net making the most of his Vandal. Gets a second kill now.
Yeah, taking out Polly. A big member to take out Remedy with that massive flick. What was that flick?
Oh my goodness.
Someone clipped that. What was that?
Remedy with a double assassination onto the attacking members of Elysium. Quick 2-0 there for Remedy. Leaves Get Greedy in a 1v5. He's going to win the first 1v1. But he's got 4 more to go.
He's like, I'd rather not go flawless, please.
Wow. That was sick.
That was 2 bullets and 2 kills coming through for Remedy there. That was nutty.
TradeLikePros Red displaying exactly how and why they were able to take down a team like Grapefruit Technique, who a lot of us had pinned for the top 8, maybe even further. TradeLikePros with 1 upset could chain it into 2. Elysium, the former VSS champions, they got the lead, but the momentum has been stolen away by the challengers.
And 3 ultimates now available on the side of Elysium here. They have that Hunter's Fury, they have the teleport coming through for Get Greedy, and they have the Showstopper available for Justin. We've seen how good he is with those double satchels. We might see a big play come through with that Showstopper. But here we go. 3 members moving into showers here. Adder gets blinded up, doesn't realize that he's not walking out of showers yet.
Remedy forced to back away from this A-long position. Justin's gonna come through with the Showstopper!
Oh my goodness, gets one with the rifle!
Justin stops the show! Picks up the 2K before going down to Nick, but JP2 finds the trade on the backside. Elysium off the back of some heroics from Justin in a easy 4v2 with the spike down.
If Justin got that 3rd kill, I probably would have taken my headset off. He probably would have had to solo cast for a bit, because I would have had to take a walk after that one.
That would have been too much, man. Justin putting the pressure on TradeLikePros Red. They're able to get that 4th round, but a 5th may be too far out of their grasp. Let's see what Net can get done here. He's able to sneak his way out onto site here undetected.
This is a beautiful spread here from Elysium. They have 4 members alive, and they are covering A so well. JP2 able to pick himself up that last kill onto Aiko, and another round going over to Elysium here, 4-1 now.
Yeah, that's a big statement from Elysium there. They gave 1 away to TradeLikePros Red, but that was not even close for the side of Elysium. They bring it right back, re-extend their lead to 3 there. Justin having a monster of a game so far off the back of that really, really excellent round. We've just seen how explosive, no pun intended, Justin can be, especially out onto that A site. Builds up so much momentum. TradeLikePros haven't been able to deal with it thus far. They're in a awkward bit of economic situations here, but they do have that ultimate, and they do have Net. Net still able to pick up that Vandal, finds a big kill on a Poly, gives his team a chance here. Remedy with the Blade Storm gets the trade onto Justin before getting taken out by Lucky. So TradeLikePros do have the numbers advantage, even if the guns may not favor them. Elysium will safely plant this spike, but Hunter's Fury makes it a bit more dangerous as Aiko gets the snipe onto Lucky. TradeLikePros here may be able to pull off the Thrifty.
Yeah, and with these kills coming through, they've actually been able to pick up rifles. Massive paint shells kill coming through for Net, and he'll get the defuse. Gonna leave it for one of his teammates because he actually has the Showstopper available, but a beautiful round coming through for TradeLikePros Red.
Wow, welcome to the Net. Net picks up a massive triple kill, single-handedly delivers that round over to TradeLikePros Red, and we have got ourselves a very back-and-forth first half here.
Yeah, looking like a very good matchup here in the top 16. And Elysium not ready to give up the fight quite yet. They have 4 ultimates of their own available. Everything but that Showstopper, but with how Justin's been playing, it could be ready this round.
Remedy now with the off in hand as well. That could be a game changer here for TradeLikePros as they look to turn the momentum here against Elysium, who got off to a really strong start, but TradeLikePros have been able to throw a few obstacles in the way. And they've got these front runners stumbling out of the gates here in the first half. See if TradeLikePros can continue that momentum. Justin, his job gets a little bit harder as the shock dart lands right at his feet. Won't be able to find any trading damage there in net. This guy is so dangerous. He's been an X factor here for TradeLikePros, pushing forward here in that A mid corridor. Won't get too greedy though for now.
Yeah, and I like that he hears the owl drone, so he just gets out of lamps. He knows they will be able to make it to lamps from there. So, oh my goodness, Justin gets a lot of damage, but JP actually able to pick up that kill onto Adder. A really aggressive, wow. If you're Ico, you've got to feel real bad about dying there. Justin will fall to Nick. So many shots coming through onto the garden, and that's the teleporter coming through here. And everyone collapsing back onto A. Get Greedy tries to get a bunch of damage there. Not able to take down Remedy, though. Wow!
Oh, and that's going to hurt him in a big way as Lucky gets sniped there. Get Greedy may
30 seconds left.
should have probably been a bit greedier there, trying to get that kill on a Remedy, and that's going to open the door here for the retake. Here comes the showstopper from net. It's been so good this far, but he gets gunned down by Get Greedy. Get Greedy puts a stop to all of that, gets himself set up on site for this 2v2, but here comes the retake. Nick wraps up the triple kill, takes out the rival Omen.
There we go. Hunter's Fury available, popping it, going for this defuse. Trying to buy as much time for his team as possible. Remedy here with this operator. Oh no, gets taken down. Defenders will get the spike defused, but Pauly able to pick up Remedy there. A massive 3K coming through for Nick, and he saved TradeLikePros there.
Intelligent play as well from Remedy to be the sacrificial lamb there, understanding that survival wasn't as important as securing that round. Remedy played that really, really well. TradeLikePros, they make it 2 in a row here. They've got 3 of the last 4. They look set to tie this one up. Elysium on possibly their last strong buy here for a few rounds.
Okay.
Yep, 2 ultimates available here for Elysium. TradeLikePros really had to use everything there to pick up the last few rounds that they've gotten. And, oh man, Justin will be able to pick up one. Adder, oh, Net gets a kill on the other side. Adder takes a ton of damage here, but we're in a 3v3 now. Whew. These shots are wild, Dilly.
Such a strong defense here from TradeLikePros, but it may not matter. Is Elysium still able to scrap their way to a 2v2? The TradeLikePros here with this positional advantage. They're pinching in one by one, but Net needs to stay alive here. Gets the kill onto Pauly, and JP2 left in a precarious position up against 2 defenders. Health bar on Eiko looking rather healthy.
Ooh.
So JP2 may need to play a bit of secret agent here to stay alive.
Yeah, unfortunately, going to be a rough situation here for him. Will fall to Ico there, and TradeLikePros Red tying it back up, grabbing the operator, and they've got to be feeling good after taking a few in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. Elysium looked really strong, as we said, to start this one off 4-1, but TradeLikePros unfazed have stormed right back to tie this one up at 4. And if it keeps going like this, it's gonna have to wait till the second half, try and find a way to divide these teams.
Justin does have that rocket available again, so I feel like we might see a little bit of A play coming through for him, but we'll have to see what he decides to do.
Remedy pretty aggressively pushed up here mid, not going to spot anybody out this time around. Meanwhile, Showers, see Net, also pushed up rather aggressively. Good spot out this push. Pauly sends out that recon owl.
Oh, Elysium is so spread out right now.
Oh, Remedy stuck with it, played the patient game, but can't convert the shot. So forced to back away, and that's going to give Elysium some free real estate in that mid corridor. Remedy gonna back away to heaven for now.
I like this angle here from Net. Might be able to find himself a big kill here onto Get Greedy. Oh no, Get Greedy
Wow.
with the peeker's advantage, able to take down Net. And that is a great smoke falling down. Will deny a ton of vision here for Remedy. And it looks like 3 members getting ready to move in through Showers here.
Yeah.
Maybe a good use of the showstopper to just flush out heaven here.
It's going to be tough to get around that sight line of Remedy. Remedy with full HP, full armor. That
There we
smoke
go.
perfectly placed.
30 seconds left.
Remedy responds with a spike of their own as here comes the push from Elysium. Adder forced to back away into heaven, but here comes Justin. Gets
Ooh.
taken down by Adder. Pauly, though, finds some revenge onto Nick. Adder puts down the lockdown, but that surely will get destroyed. Does get destroyed there as Elysium put down the spike in a 4v2. A successful take here from Elysium, and Remedy is going to have to play the role of hero if TradeLikePros want to be able to snatch the lead away from Elysium.
Yeah, and Breach is such an op counter there since he can't aim down sights after getting knocked up.
Oh, he goes so close to being on the money with the shock dart, but gets the gun kill instead, helping his team out, but time certainly working against Aiko and Remedy here. So picks up the Phantom, get greedy on the peak around the backside, gets taken down by Remedy, but that's not going to be enough. Pauly goes on the hunt as the spike goes to detonate. Elysium get themselves the lead back as Remedy gets themselves another kill there on the backside, but it won't be enough for TradeLikePros here. Despite the run they went on, Elysium claw themselves right back into it and get themselves the lead.
Yeah, things starting to look very good here we're starting to look very good here for TradeLikePros, but Elysium finally able to add another point onto the board. After losing 3 in a row, the economy not looking good for Elysium now. They do have a full buy, but they don't even have full shields on all their members.
Yeah, certainly a do or die round here for Elysium. If they lose this round, the economic situation is tricky to say the least. Elysium pinching in on both sides of B here. They've been really committal with these setups. Haven't spread out maybe as much as some sides would prefer to. TradeLikePros going to try and flank in on this, but Justin pushes forward before they can get the chance to.
He's so good with those double satchels. Still has the ultimate available. Going to get a little bit of damage there.
Spike planted.
And Elysium here have the spike down. Net moving in, doesn't check the corner. Lucky able to take him down. And this is a 5v3 now. Elysium trying to put some point differential on the board. Oh, Remedy not able to get that flick there. Almost got it there, but Lucky popping off gets himself a 3K. And he has been performing so well on this Cypher.
Aiko, the last man standing, trying to prevent an Elysium flawless victory to double up their lead here. Yeah, Elysium, they looked like they started to stumble, but they brought it right back here. Aiko finds one, won't find another. JP2 closes it out for Elysium. The former champs showing why they are deserving of that top 8 spot here on the line in this best of 1. TradeLikePros, the pressure is back on again, trying to erase this deficit. Net brought his team back into it early on. He's going to have to do some more of that.
Economically, things not looking very good here for TradeLikePros. Can't even buy full shields here on most of their members. Can't, but looks like Adder going to opt for that Sheriff. Everyone else going with some SMGs. Net able to pay off that stinger. Here we go, Hunter's Fury coming through. Looks like it's the Hunter's Fury for Elysium. Big damage coming through from the paint shells. Remedy able to pick up one. Pauly able to pick up one. Ultimate's traded across the board.
Explosive start here to the 11th round, but it's hard to believe it, but Elysium are the ones who find themselves on the back foot after all the action. TradeLikePros making the most of this thrifty round here. Remedy tosses the Vandal over to his teammates and gets a massive kill on Pauly. Elysium, they should have been all but guaranteed this round, but it's fallen apart at the hands of Remedy. So deadly with this Blade Storm. That's so difficult for Elysium to work around.
Yep, Blade Storm still available. Love that those blades reset every time. Here we go. JP2 pushing in. We'll get taken down. Remedy popping off with this ultimate.
Looks almost unstoppable, does Remedy. Could push around this corner to try and finish off Justin. Surprised Justin is still pushing forward
30
with this
seconds
one.
left.
See what he can find for it. We'll just find the business end of a dagger there. Remedy picks up the 4K there. The Blade Storm just as good as any gun.
Yep, last round before the half here, and Remedy is thankfully able to get himself that operator, and he's been so on point with his shots, so deadly. It's really good to get that back in his hand, and TradeLikePros just trying to make this a 6-6.
Yeah, that's going to be crucial to feed Remedy as much firepower as possible. Remedy showing they are the X factor here for TradeLikePros, but no one from Elysium going to challenge that op there on the B long side. Once again with a really committal setup here towards A. 3 members pushed up in showers. Here comes the execute surely from Elysium as they work their way forward. TradeLikePros set themselves back to try and greet this push. Surprised actually the rotate hasn't come out faster from TradeLikePros, but here comes the execute from Elysium, and Justin
mid-teleport.
gets a big spray down onto Nick, but Net has the showstopper to respond, gets the kill onto Lucky, trades a little bit of HP for the privilege. See if Net can find more. Net will find more. Net gets the double kill. And Elysium, it looked so set up for them here on this A site, but Net with the aid of a showstopper gets two. But Polly lurking in the shadows takes him down. But meanwhile, Remedy got that classic kill onto Get Greedy, leaving Elysium here in a 2v3 as the Hunter's Fury spreads throughout the site, preventing Polly from planting for quite a bit. TradeLikePros Red get themselves in a prime position to retake here.
Yeah, that bought so much time for TLP to be able to rotate over to A. Now they're in a difficult spot. One member in lamps, one member in showers, and they're gonna go for the force diffuse. Here we go, Rolling Thunder coming in. Oh man, JP2 all by himself, able to get himself one kill, but in a 1v2, not gonna be able to find anything. Remedy finishing out the half with a nice 3K.
Really impressive stuff from Remedy. They have really gotten themselves going here in the first half. And as we said, Elysium got themselves off to a really strong start, but TradeLikePros struck right back, made it a very back and forth first half there to end it out. And there is nothing to separate these teams by as we go into the second half, 6-6. Elysium, they've stumbled a bit on the pistol rounds here this week's VSS, had a tough time with it up against Orange. See if they can find some success here against TradeLikePros. Buys rather standard save for the two frenzies going over to the side of Remedy and Net. Big players there for TradeLikePros. And it looks like Remedy actually drops the frenzy over for in favor of a ghost.
This goes here.
Okay, we have pistol round coming out here, and really spread attack coming through here for TradeLikePros. Really excited to see Elysium on this defense, especially with some of their agent selections. We didn't have the Cypher available for TradeLikePros. Definitely thrives a lot more on the defender side rather than the attack, but
yeah, it'll take some clever usage of that kit there to be effective on attack. Great intel though for TradeLikePros early onto JP2 is gonna force him to be a little aggressive there. But TradeLikePros playing this one increasingly slow, trying to find an edge in somewhere before they commit to either site.
yeah, it's always odd when you see people playing slow on the pistol rounds.
Yeah, it's interesting to see they don't have the spike set up anywhere to push as we have less than 40 seconds now remaining. Looks like they will opt for a B site play, but Elysium
30 seconds left.
surely starting to figure this out. We'll start to send out the rotate. Here comes the execute from TradeLikePros. Less than 30 seconds remaining, and they rather easily get themselves out onto site. We'll see how Elysium respond here. They're just going to prepare themselves for this retake.
Massive damage.
Yeah, Nick takes big damage there, forced to back away, but will get the spike down. Here comes the retake from Elysium. Lucky gets the action started. He gets that first kill onto Adder, but Nick, Net, and Hanko follow up with massive kills onto the retake. Elysium gets slaughtered onto B site. TradeLikePros take the lead in cool, confident manner.
Yeah, I think if you're if you're Elysium, you may be there's some notes you take from today, it's maybe to work on pistol rounds a little bit.
Yeah, Elysium really struggling on the pistol rounds here today. See if they can get the rest of the rounds, get themselves some more opportunities to maybe turn that losing record around. But as it stands, they can't keep this one alive.
And Dilly, if you can't win a pistol round against other pistols, how are you supposed to win pistols versus rifles if you econ? Like,
Well, that's the crazy thing, actually, is we saw more thrifty rounds from Elysium up against Orange than we did see successful pistol rounds in the entirety of the tourney. That was one of the nuttiest things about that group stage matchup against of Elysium up against Orange is some of the key victories in that game from either side were thrifty rounds, where Elysium had 5 classics, maybe 2 sets of light armor, would find a cheeky kill, pick up a Vandal, and then turn that into a round win. So Elysium have shown they can make pistols work, just maybe not when the other team has pistols, question mark?
looks like we do have a little bit of a pause coming through. Hopefully we'll be back in soon, but if it is an actual error, we'll have more information for you shortly, so sorry about that.
We have been, it's weird to consider weather in an online tournament, but we have had some rather strong gusts of wind, at least here in the Midwest as well as other parts of the country. So hopefully everyone's power lines, everyone's fiber lines staying well intact there. But yeah, we'll get everyone loaded back in ASAP. But this one has been really exceedingly close here between Elysium and TradeLikePros Red. As I said before, TradeLikePros Red coming off the back of a really impressive win in the first round of Top 32 over Grapefruit Technique, a really, really strong team that a lot of people have pinned for at least top 8, maybe top 4 finish in this tournament. Upset in the first round of Top 32 by this TradeLikePros Red roster. And they have been showing exactly how they were able to get a victory like that, put it together up against a big team like Elysium now. Elysium stormed out to a strong 4-1 lead, get this one started. And TradeLikePros traded the punches.
Okay,
right
looks like
back.
everyone is moving again. We are back in. Looks like it was Justin that was having issues there. Well, he wasn't moving for a while, but everyone should be back in. Everyone should be good to go, and we are back. Round 2 of the second half, rather. TradeLikePros Red versus Elysium, and let's see if Elysium can manage another pistol round here.
Yeah, they've sent 4 members over towards A, and that's going to play poorly for the B site, but luckily for Elysium, TradeLikePros don't have the spike, or didn't have the spike in hand just yet, but now here comes the push. They won't be stopped by anyone. It will be a 5-man retake from Elysium as Lucky pushes on through the teleporter, waiting for someone to TradeLikePros and come and fight him. But no engagement coming out, but we do see that flank here. Coming around the backside from Justin. Finds a headshot, finds the kill onto Adder. Adder can't win out, finds damage there onto Justin, but won't find the kill. Here comes Get Greedy with his opportunity, finds the headshot onto Aiko, and that's going to open the door for JP2 to get one, but they won't get any more. TradeLikePros clean up what was a dicey start there to that 14th round.
Yeah, and the attack so far looking very good here for TradeLikePros Red. And we finally got some rifles in hand here for Elysium. Maybe that'll help them out here, especially going into some Spectres here for TradeLikePros. But man, at this point, you really have to start to worry. You've given up 4 rounds in a row. It was 5-6 there for a while.
Yeah, that's a great point. This has been a massive shift of momentum here from TradeLikePros Red. If they can keep this momentum rolling, it would not be out of the realm of a rather easy victory here for TradeLikePros Red if Elysium can't put a stop to this soon. And Net keeps pressing the issue, takes down Get Greedy, and Adder on the opposite side takes down Justin. Pauly, though, will find revenge onto Net there on the B side. So TradeLikePros Red, they have the advantage, but they are without one of their top fraggers. They're still going to have to be careful about how they approach this one as they set themselves up for this push out onto B. Smokes will go onto Heaven. Smokes will go onto Lamp here for TradeLikePros. Lucky caught in the middle of it all. trying to find a kill, and he does. Peeks around the corner, takes down Adder. Can he find
Oh
more?
my goodness.
Lucky finds it all, takes down Nick before going down to Remedy, but TradeLikePros Red in a round that should have been handed to them. Elysium have shut their foot in the door.
Pauly.
Lucky with a big double kill, and Pauly looks to capitalize off the back of this massive flank, but can't close it out. Gets big damage onto Remedy. Will that give JP2
my
the clutch?
goodness.
Yes, it will. JP2 with the double kill. Elysium strike right back.
Yeah, Pauly did enough damage for him to be able to get those collateral kills. That was a massive assists coming through for Pauly. It was really unfortunate that he wasn't able to make anything happen for himself there. But man, that was a desperately needed win here for Elysium.
Yeah, big stuff for Elysium. As we were saying at the beginning of that round, if Elysium don't turn the tide soon, TradeLikePros risk running away with this one. And Elysium put their foot down, say no more of that to TradeLikePros. Stop the streak there from getting too out of control, and now Elysium with an opportunity to put together a streak of their own. But this guy, Net, in their way as it stands. See if Elysium can deal with Net this time around. Pushing up once again aggressively towards Hookah. It's a 1v1 shapes up over towards Showers. 3 members of Elysium pushing up that B corridor. This is such an aggressive defensive play here from Elysium. Will it pay off? No, Remedy gets 1, almost gets 2, but JP2 finds the trade here, but that opens the door for Net to further their real estate here in Hookah. Net with this angle, oh, but gets spotted out.
Yeah, I think his
just
barrel
by
is
the
peeking.
edge, yeah. So Net forced to back away, and TradeLikePros looked like they could have been able to set up on the B site, but Elysium play their cards right. So they'll have to reconsider their options, but they certainly haven't given up on the B side of the map. Here's less than 40 seconds remaining. They're going to have to start making some tough decisions rather soon.
30 seconds left.
Yep, running out of time here for TradeLikePros. They have to get this spike down. It's a 4v4, and they do have the Rolling Thunder available for Elysium. Oh man, massive paint shell damage. Nano Swarm Grenade on top of everything. Get Greedy takes so much damage. Will fall to Net there. Lucky taking down Net. Things looking very good for Elysium here. 3K coming through there for Lucky. Will fall to Adder, but Adder all by himself won't be able to get this spike down. Time running out, and that's a round going over for Elysium.
Lucky, the absolute monster, holds down B site with nothing but a bulldog. Gets the 3K, and what was I saying? 2 things I like about Lucky. Doesn't give up and uses the bulldog. Lucky comes up big with the bulldog and says, yeah, I'm gonna buy another one as well. Oh, he bought it for just a second before switching back over to the Vandal. But giving us Bulldog fans a little bit of a shout out there, I hope. Lucky pops off on the B site, delivers that round to Elysium, and just like that, Elysium tie us up once again here in the second half, and now these rounds becoming increasingly crucial for either side.
Yeah, Bladestorm getting popped here for TradeLikePros. 3 ultimates available on their side. They also have the Showstopper. They also have that teleport.
Well, the last time I remember Remedy popping the Bladestorm, they got a 4K. So big expectations
huge
for this one, but Remedy gets gunned down before even a 1K. Pauly takes down Remedy before getting traded out by Adder. TradeLikePros still get the spike down regardless.
How did Net take all that damage? He's at 5 HP. Oh my goodness, it also looks like Adder is super low. A combined 10 HP on those 2 members. Oh my goodness.
I hope.
Justin up at top side, able to take down Adder. Nick able to get one for himself, but here we go, 3v2. Things not looking good for TradeLikePros. Justin pushing in, able to get that kill. Satchels himself out, but it's just Aiko here. He's all by himself, and he'll fall to Lucky. Justin picks up Lucky.
Justin, I hope you've apologized. We're a big fan of Lucky, and you just killed our guy.
You killed my son. My son.
Look what they did to my boy.
Look what you did to my boy.
Justin takes the dub and takes down his team member. Elysium, though, regardless of the team damage, pick up their 3rd round in a row, and this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Elysium. They needed a shift in momentum, and they got a massive turn of the tides here. And this could spell victory for Elysium. TradeLikePros now. The ball is in their court. They've got the full buy put together. This is a do or die round for TradeLikePros Red. They are here to show the world that they are ready to play, but Elysium stands in their way. TradeLikePros have left the spike behind for now, trying to find some edge before committing to either half of the map.
I've never seen the dart from the spy cam come that close to hitting and not hit.
I was a bit.
I've never seen it like, you literally saw it fly by Jet's head.
Yeah, I was a bit befuddled by that.
Pauly able to pick up that kill onto net, shutting down the raise here for the side of TradeLikePros. Now they're in a 5v4. They have a couple ultimates available. Here we go. Rolling Thunder. I'm sorry, the Hunter's Fury coming out. Did a lot of damage on the backside. Remedy able to pick himself up a kill, but another Hunter's Fury coming through here. 3v4, 3v3 now. Justin able to take one down before he falls. Adder gets that kill.
TradeLikePros in a very favorable 3v2. The health bar is looking good for Pauly, not so much, but that hasn't stopped him from pushing forward here through the lockdown. Oh, but no one from TradeLikePros going to reveal themselves as that lockdown rings out. Won't get any detainees, but Pauly and JP2 with less time on the clock now, less HP remaining. Gotta work this one out as Pauly gets spotted out by the recon bolt. The nano sword covers up the spike, and that's gonna be a no-go for the side of Elysium. They back away. TradeLikePros secure themselves around, and this is now turning into quite the slugfest. These teams been rather streaky actually through this game, picking up 4-round streaks, 3-round streaks, but now we're really starting to trade punches here as these teams move into crunch time. We are running out of rounds to play with.
Yeah, at this point of the game, you really have to start getting multiple rounds in a row on the board, or you're going to end up in a situation where you're going to overtime. And when you're going to overtime, you don't get any more operators on the board. You're really locked into what you have at your disposal. You pretty much don't get ultimates available the rest of the game. So now is the time for either of those teams to really make their move here.
Yeah, this is where the tactics really need to start to shine for either of these teams. TradeLikePros have had a very cautious approach thus far to this attacking side, usually opting to leave the spike behind for an amount of time before they work their way into a site. And as I say it, Net gets some work done onto Get Greedy. May have opened the door for his team to make a move onto B side here as they crowd around this hookah area. Elysium trying to do what they can to slow this approach. They don't want to reveal themselves too much. Net trying to spot out some of the defenders as Pauly now starts to trade with this push onto B long. Spike goes out for Remedy. Will that let Aiko push through here? Will it let Pauly get the edge? Aiko wins the Sova duel, and now TradeLikePros shift their weight onto the A foot, moving on over to this A side here, leaving Justin between a rock and a hard place, but Lucky relieves the pressure here, helps out his team. Justin, off the back of that, pops the showstopper, but won't make it count. Gets gunned down by Adder, leaving Elysium in a 2v4 as the spike goes down. JB2 in the thick of it all, can't get it done, and TradeLikePros Red. Goodness gracious, you cannot count these guys out.
Yeah, they absolutely demolished Elysium there. They're able to put their second round in a row on the board, and they are trying to get themselves towards match point.
Yeah, Elysium now, look at the money left for them here in this 20th round. It's not going to be a optimal buy coming out for Elysium. Meanwhile, on the side of TradeLikePros, it is a very heavy-handed buy. The only thing not coming in for them is an op, which may not make sense here on this attacking side of Bind. So 5 Vandals it is for TradeLikePros Red. Elysium not so lucky, not so wealthy. See if they can make work of their small tools in hand here, stacking this B side, but TradeLikePros Red have sent everyone on over to A.
Yeah, going to be a slow round, I think. We have Elysium not really wanting to take fights with those sheriffs and other assorted pistols, but
Cage triggered.
TLP fully loaded up here, trying to get themselves towards the match point, and just in terms of weapon differential, things looking very good for them right now. Here we go, Spike going
planted.
down. Just not even contested by Elysium.
Yeah, Elysium are playing really scared here for a save round.
Yeah, and it really sucks to be at a save round this far into the game because, like, it's not like they can just contest this round and give a free round over. Here we go, Adder getting 1 kill, gets 2 kills before he falls to Justin. Justin falls himself to Remedy, but it is a 4v2 round looking very good here for TradeLikePros. There we go, round 11 going over to them as they take down Pauly.
TradeLikePros are 2 rounds away from 2 back-to-back massive wins for this team. First taking out Grapefruit Technique to move themselves into top 16. Now looking to take down former VSS champs Elysium here. This could be a big turning point for TradeLikePros Red. See if they can get it done or if Elysium can mount together a comeback off the back of this bye, but it will be increasingly difficult taking a look at the armor there for Elysium. 3 sets of light armor, only 2 sets of heavy. Makes it that much harder to hold down a site.
Yeah, Elysium definitely feeling the pressure now. If they lose this one, it is match point for TradeLikePros, and I imagine their econ won't look too good if they lose this one either. Oh, JP2 takes a ton of damage. He gets a little bit out, but there we go. Garrett Grady able to take down Net. They make it a 5v4 in favor of Elysium. Justin gets a kill onto Adder with that operator, and here we go. Things finally looking good for Elysium.
This is the round Elysium needs if they want a chance at still taking this game here.
Cage triggered.
Here comes the rotate as TradeLikePros set themselves up behind U-Haul here. Lucky really far push forward, waiting for the reinforcements of his team. Now push forward. Look how low Aiko is brought by the paint shells down to 1 HP. I can't believe it. Justin rather unlucky to not have gotten that kill there. That may make his team's job a bit easier, but no. Doesn't matter how many HP they've got. Aiko gets the kill done onto Get Greedy. And Remedy follows up with a big kill onto Lucky. What is happening for Elysium?
Oh my
Pauly now
goodness.
has to be such a hero as Justin gets taken out by Nick, leaving Pauly in a 1v2 as the clock works against him. He's got to find 1 more kill, and Aiko playing the positioning
Aiko.
perfectly. Wow, Aiko needs to find...
I think he gets this. I think they win, yeah.
Finds the kill. Aiko moves on to match point off of 1 HP.
And he just
Match point.
eats that spike explosion for breakfast.
Not much else they could have done. Wow, a masterful play there from TradeLikePros. They were down in a 3v5 with virtually no HP left on 2 of their members, and still they thwarted the retake there from Elysium, and TradeLikePros in a big way get themselves on the match point, 1 round away from top 8.
Yeah, and econ not looking super good for Elysium here. Like we see for Justin here, he has just that light shield, able to get himself 1 kill. Have Adder hanging out there to the right. We'll have to see how far he peeks up.
Justin not taking any chances there, and Shower backs away, but look how far Remedy is pushed up. Will get punished there by Get Greedy, and no, Adder there follows up with a kill onto Justin. Aiko gets taken out by Pauly through the wall of the Hunter Sniper. The kills went back and forth, but they went all back to Elysium, just leaving Adder remaining here for TradeLikePros Red. They may have to wait a bit longer to wrap this one up.
Yeah, now they're in a difficult position. They don't have the spike, and they are all by themselves. Everyone knows where Adder is at. Looks like Elysium might be able to hold off for 1 more round, which is very good because they didn't even have full shields for that last round. I'm not sure how their economy will be looking moving into the next one, though.
Adder on the hunt now, trying to take on some 1v1s
30
here with the
seconds left.
remaining members of Elysium. But Elysium not looking to indulge Adder this time around. They really just want to survive with as many guns as they can, but Adder may force the issue here. Oh, gets just spotted out in the nick of time, but Adder still stays alive despite the damage, and this may
10
open the
seconds
door
left.
here for a spike plant for Adder. What looked to be just a survival round Oh, Adder
No, but he
picks up
can't-
the
no.
3K.
He doesn't get the round, though, yeah.
No plant, though. Oh, Adder. What a hero Adder is, regardless of the loss. Adder with a massive play to put some sweat on the brow of Elysium.
Oh, but Adder could have done the most clutch play we've seen in a while. Clutch out a 1v3 to win the game. Oh, that would have been so clutch.
That would have been
That would have been
pretty
like
cool.
what we saw from Valen at the end of the last game.
Shout outs to Valen the God. Valen with a massive dub there for Flow State.
For sure.
Adder looked to replicate the same, unfortunately thwarted by the time factor. So TradeLikePros, their
They're-
victory delayed for at least one more round.
There are 4 members of Elysium that have 0 credits now, and I think that means some of them don't even have full abilities.
Yeah, and still 3 sets of light armor for the side of the Elysium, but now the positions are a bit switched up.
That's got to feel so bad. You don't have a full shield, you don't have full abilities. Thankfully, you have the full rifle. And you're just holding on, trying to deny match point as long as you can here. Elysium does have a few ultimates available for themselves. They have that hat available, but they'd have to kill a member of TradeLikePros first. Both showstoppers available, and Remedy's Bladestorm, which has been so clutch this game. Oh, JP able to get one before he falls. Hunter's Fury gets popped, and Pauly able to pick himself up another kill. 4v3 now for TradeLikePros. Elysium trying to fight this out to overtime.
Expert play there from Pauly to play around that enemy Hunter's Fury and still find the kills through the smoke as well. Pauly may have kept his team alive here. TradeLikePros force their way out onto B site. Get Greedy
30
gets traded
seconds
out
left.
there for Nick. The Omens both going down. Net has this angle on Pauly. Will Pauly peek as the spike goes down?
Oh,
Echo
man.
gets taken out by Justin there on the backside of the site. Net, though, with an incredible peek, picks up the double kill, brings themselves
Oh
to
my
a
goodness.
1v1, less than 15 seconds remaining. Net has the spike in hand. Pauly
10 seconds
playing Secret Agent, sneaking around this corner, but those are going to be some paint shells right in the face of Pauly, and Pauly pushes right on through them, takes down Net. Elysium take
Oh my
two
goodness.
in a row, while TradeLikePros sit on match point.
This is it, Dilly. We're either going to overtime or the game's over here. So this is a big round. 4 ultimates available on the side of Elysium.
Still, the buy looks not good. Elysium have not been able to put together a healthy buy in the last 3 rounds, and they are going to have to bring this one onto OT with 3 Spectres up against 5 Vandals.
Yeah, they were able to win those last 2 rounds, but both rounds they were only able to keep 1 member alive, so you don't get to keep economy rolling that way. Adder has done such a good job of never getting swept out by that boom bot. That's happened 4 times.
Adder with expert positioning there, limiting the usefulness here of the utility coming out from Elysium. Elysium, though, once again with a staunch setup here on the B site, 3 members deep. TradeLikePros, they've certainly favored the B side here in this half. See if it's their pick for what is the last round of regulation. Either TradeLikePros moves on to top 8 or we go into OT. Elysium have done very well to get themselves thus far. What was once 12-9, now 12-11.
I think the available ultimates actually favor Elysium here. The Rolling Thunder and the Showstopper are so good. Both teams have that Omen teleport, but
Definitely
30
can't
seconds
count out
left.
the lockdown as well as
Yeah.
Adder here. As time takes down Adder, the lone A-side attacker. Oh, but here it comes Net. Storms their way onto site. Gets out onto site safely as Pauly forced to leave his corner there from the utility, and that double peek there from TradeLikePros is going to win out over Pauly.
10
JP2
seconds
looks to
left.
resume his position, pushes out onto site, and here comes the retake from Elysium. They find big kills onto Adder, onto Nick. JP2 picks up the double onto Remedy before going down to Echo, and Justin takes down Echo with the showstopper. That's overtime.
yeah, TradeLikePros just
Switching
waited
sides.
so long to pull the
Overtime.
trigger. So long. They kept a member alive, but the clock expired. We're in overtime now, and I'm blown away. It
Yeah.
should not have gone to overtime.
TradeLikePros has to be said, they have squandered the 3 opportunities they had to close this match out, and now Elysium are poised to put a stop here to this rather Cinderella story, you have to say, from TradeLikePros.
And now Elysium doesn't have their econ issues anymore.
Yeah, no, they're not going to have econ
No,
issues
they're
for the
not.
rest of the match.
Yeah, they don't. They're not gated by that economy any longer. That's what was so impressive about their last 3 wins, is that they were all honestly messy buys.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, light armor. We had Spectres there in that last round, and still
Didn't even
Elysium.
have everyone with full abilities. Like,
No, not
saw
even close.
One satchel come out for net, stuff like that. But here we go, 5v5 still. 1 member of TradeLikePros hanging out over on A, doing some hunting.
Elysium now on the attack. They've spent that last half on defense, so they've got to mix up their pacing here a bit. TradeLikePros with a big 4 stack on this B side as Elysium push forward. Here comes Justin right into the Nanosword grenade. Adder gets the Nanosword kill. Adder
my God!
gets the 4K! Adder completely mows down Elysium.
That is why you check your
Switching
corners.
sides.
Adder just hanging out in the
Match
corner,
point.
doesn't get swept out, grabs himself an easy 4K and moves himself to 20 and 18.
That's why we call that death window there out of hookah. It is so dangerous to push that position, and Elysium pushed it right into Death Valley. 4 members of TradeLikePros Red there to greet them, but the only one that mattered was Adder. Adder lurking right around that corner of the crate, gets the perfect nanoswarm,
it's not
gets
even-
the perfect spray.
Yeah, and it's not even like Elysium has an excuse for that, because there are so many ways they could have dealt with that corner. Could have used the aftershock, could have used a grenade, they could have used a shock dart, they could have used so many different things to sweep that corner. Really unfortunate there, but now TradeLikePros Red with the advantage. Elysium able to, I'm sorry, JP2 able to get one before he falls. Nick grabbing that kill. Oh man, things looking very good for TradeLikePros here.
Wow, TradeLikePros have wasted no time storming their way onto this B side, and Elysium only have 3 members keeping them away from defeat, and they've got to go through 4. Net pushing through this back corridor. Get Greedy has to win this duel. This team wants a chance at stopping TradeLikePros from once again taking the game, and TradeLikePros on match point. Net gets the kill, gets his team onto the 4v2 as the spike counts down. Net hunting for more. Net gets the triple kill, could get the quadra kill as it's just Justin remaining for Elysium. Takes the paint shells to the face. Justin gets the first kill there. Coolly moves out of the back quarter there, off the back of that satchel, but the paranoia runs through. Justin can't get the spray down. TradeLikePros survive overtime. TradeLikePros survive into top 8.
Adder won that game for TradeLikePros.
Yeah.
Adder won that game for TradeLikePros. Like,
Massive
that 4K
game.
was massive. Net did an amazing job also. I believe there were 3 members of TradeLikePros Red above the 20 kill mark. Things looking so good for that team there. They realized that their issue with their last attack round was how long they waited to pull the trigger.
Right.
So their next attack round,
they wasted
wasted no time at all. Immediately all out onto B, and it really paid off for them.
I think my MVP pick, though, for the side of TradeLikePros has to be Net.
Yeah.
Net played exceptionally well. I mean, keeping up with really what was a heavy, high pace there from Elysium. Net was in their face through the whole game. I mean, you could see it in that last round as well, pushing forward with nary a fear. Net will be your MVP, 26, 15, and 4,
I mean,
combat score of 298.
How many times did we see him take double satchels into people and get multiple kills off of it? It's not like he was doing that and then messing it up. Oh man, Justin at 23 and 21. 4 members above the 20 kill mark. Everyone performing very well.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a game coming out here in the top 16.
You really can't say anyone underperformed, I think, on either side in that match. Really, really explosive match coming through. GG's to Elysium. They fought really, really hard, but TradeLikePros on a bit of a run here. Take the dub over Grapefruit Technique, now taking the dub over Elysium. They move into top 8. We will be moving into top 8 here very shortly. Stick around. We're going to take a couple-minute break, and we'll be right back. Stick around. You definitely don't want to miss it.